What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video, ticker symbol AAPL, where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me go ahead, pull the chart up, hit record, we'll get right into the video. We got a pretty jam-packed video, so let's get right into it. Finally, a pretty nice green day for Apple. We did give a little bit of gains up, but we did have a little bit of a green day. Actually, what's crazy, and we'll cover this in a little bit, is that, remember how we drew this bull pennant and I talked about yesterday, where us hitting right against the bottom edge of that? Well, with the green day today, technically that pattern is still valid, so super excited to see how that holds up. Before we get started though, if you like Webull, what I'm using here, link in the description below, sign up, both get some free shares, you and I. Let's get right into kind of some things that I want to look at, Apple specific. Then we'll take a look at, market specific news and why the market was up today. Then we'll do our technical analysis on Apple and see how that holds up. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So actually, Apple got a price upgrade from UBS with the kind of thesis that they will take a big share of the electric vehicle market, right? So what they said was, converted it into a buy, went from a price target of $115, which if you guys remember a few weeks ago, it was at $116, all the way up to $142. Talking about kind of the automotive space, the ability for Apple to enter kind of the car industry, if you will, and the idea that, if they get into that, right, kind of similar argument that we were making to the service business, right, a recurring revenue year round rather than iPhone coming out in September, really nice fourth quarter revenue, and then we go back to kind of, a kind of a cycle of whenever people upgrade iPhones. So that's what we're talking about here. New price target reflects the automotive space, reflects the average selling price of the iPhone going up. So iPhones are just getting expensiver by the year, more expensive by the year. I don't know what the right term is there, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? iPhone 11 or 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, and they're making the more expensive ones kind of more appealing, so people buy those, so the average selling price, the ASP, is going up as well. And self-driving car licenses and LiDAR patents, and so and the other thing that they're making an argument on is the fact that Apple could be positioned really well to capture some of the battery electric vehicle market, the BEV market. So that's what this article is talking about here. If you're interested, again, on Yahoo Finance, free article. If you want to give it a read, just pause the video, type in this title, and you'll be good to go there. Now let's get right back into the overall market, why the market is up. Actually, no, one more thing about Apple. So as you guys know, Apple stock has dropped a decent amount in January 25. The whole tech industry is dropping as well. 251.58. I don't think that's right. It was never at $251. Anyway, what I want to point out is that there was a call sweep of 476 options with a 125 strike price expiring on May 21st. The trader paid $200,000, a bullish bet of $207,000. So that's a pretty big amount. With all these different trades going together, there was about $3 million that flowed into call options, implying bullishness in the stock. Now, don't just look at this and go buy call stocks. What I like looking at this is getting a market sentiment, right? Someone could be buying this as a way to hedge their position, or maybe there's something bigger behind it, but it's always good to see a lot of people betting money on options plays one way or the other. In this case, a bullish bet of over $3 million over the course of today. That gives me good hope, right? I mean, it's a bullish bet, so hopefully we see how that goes. And then the last thing I want to talk about is why the stock market rallied today. So let's take a look here, talking about why the NASDAQ rallied today. Investors are awaiting details of President Joe Biden's infrastructure package, and tech stocks also rebounded on recent weakness. So that's what we're talking about here. Remember that I talked about S&P approaching 4,000 or 400, excuse me. We'll take a look at that and why we did see the choppiness that I kind of mentioned. But, you know, I think a lot of the reason for the kind of push up today was related to the infrastructure package, and also just overall kind of we were getting oversold and money started flowing back in. Let's talk now about Apple stock and how it's been trading, and we'll see how it goes. So over here, what we saw was, you know, yesterday we were trading under the 120 mark, talked about the struggle we had at 120, talked about the two kind of struggle points we had coming up, both at 121.48 and 123.69, right? So we opened above the 121.48 level, kind of pushed up, bounced back just a little bit, and then we started to really push up. We really rallied, kind of made it close to our next level, and then we gave a decent amount of that up. So what I did like about today, we got through one level, we're green on the day. What I didn't like, obviously, is the kind of pullback we saw in the second half of the day, as well as ending the day below the VWAP line. So that's what we're talking about here. And another thing I want to mention, and I'm going to make a more detailed video on this, but I actually wrote down my covered calls for Apple to $124 expiring tomorrow, and it was kind of risky, but the reason I did it is, you know, my old covered call, which I think was at 126, 127, was pretty much worthless, and I wanted to collect a little bit more of a premium. So actually, let me go to the daily chart and show you why I did that. The reason I did the 124 is because I don't personally think that that'll be breached. We got a level of resistance at 123.69, and if this bull pennant is valid at all, you know, 124 level should be a little bit of a resistance. Now, with that being said, I would totally be cool with it going above 124. I can always roll my covered call out to next Friday instead of tomorrow, the Thursday that is ending the week. So that's what, you know, I did there. I'll make a more detailed video on that. I know one of you guys asked about that, so be on the lookout for that. That's coming soon on how I do it. It's not perfect, but that is how I'll show you guys how I do covered calls as we sit around waiting for the stock to do nothing. So as we can see here, we made a great push towards 123.69 on the daily chart. We did pull back a lot, which is something that I don't like, but we talked about that, right? We'll take a look at the S&P chart as well. We talked about the kind of turbulence we can expect as S&P gets closer to the $400 mark. So what are levels of support, levels of resistance? First level of support we have is this 121.48, the level that we broke above today and thankfully stayed above. And then the next level below that is kind of 119.09, but between that we have, you know, both the 120 being a mental resistance and this bull pennant, if it is valid. Again, we don't know that it is. It's just something that I drew on, and, you know, based on the price action for the previous 2 days since I've drawn it, we've, you know, looked kind of good. But, you know, we'll see how that holds up. But yeah, 121.48 level of support, 119.09 level of support, 120 being kind of a mental, you know, level of support as well, where we could see a bounce. On the push up, 123.69 is really our first level that we've really struggled to break through since early March. We've broken above it once, came right back down in 2 days below that level, and then 126.65 is the next level after that. Remember that the 89 EMA comes in right at the $124.31 mark. That is my kind of goal for Apple, for us to be able to kind of come above that level, to be able to establish that as a good level of support, start to push up. It's been over a month now that we've kind of been above, or excuse me, that we've been below it. So that's, you know, getting kind of worrying, but I think we're on the right track, and I'm hoping we see a little bit of run as we get closer into earnings, and hopefully as we get some money flowing back into the tech names. So hoping for that push towards 124.31. I don't necessarily think, I mean, it could happen tomorrow, but I'm hoping for that to happen by sometime early next week, establish that, and then we make a push towards the 126s. First level to watch for tomorrow is this 123.69. Good news is that RSI is making a higher low most of the time, which is good. It's looking pretty nice at 47 right now, not getting oversold as we've seen previously. Let me take a quick look at the S&P 500. So you guys remember I talked about this yesterday, right? At 398. I'm actually just going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a horizontal line for us, because why not? I talked about it yesterday as well, right? And the reason I'm doing that is, look, that's the high from last time. As expected, we got a little bit of resistance there. Once we can get through 398, the next level we have is also the $400 mark. That's going to be big for us to hit. So expect a little bit of turbulence there as well. It would not surprise me if we, kind of struggled a little bit there before moving forward. So that's what I'm looking at on the S&P. We got some resistance coming up at 398. We got some support coming up at 394, 392. Yesterday and the day before we bounced at 392, so that should be a good level of support as well. But we'll see how that goes. One thing that I also wanted to talk about was, we're not trading Friday, right? Tomorrow is the last day of the week. Just be mindful of that. That's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.